Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel and welcome back to another episode of my 2020 garden. So today I'm going to be planting some peas, sugar snap peas, and some onions. I started these sugar snap peas and the onions from seed earlier in the year, and now they are ready to go in the ground. So join me for this episode of Sharon's Home and Garden. So between the birds and the wind and the Harleys and the road noise, this is going to be a noisy video. I am going to be putting my peas in the ground. Now this coming week, our nights are going to be in the low 30s, but peas can take a frost. So I'm hoping we don't get any more frosts. It's not guaranteed, but they like the cool weather, so I'm going to put them out here in the garden. If for some reason they all die this week, which I hope they won't, I'm going to hold a few of these plants back that aren't as far along, and I will be able to have a second round of peas planted. So keep your fingers crossed for me. This past week we got 3.5 inches of rain in 3 days. And we've got more rain coming next week, so I hope that these will settle in really well, and the ground is very moist for them right now. I did something different this year. I planted my seeds in flats like this. Normally I direct sow them in the ground and then just kind of wait for them to come up, but this year I wanted to get a jump start because I find that in my area, I am in Wisconsin, zone 5A. In my area, we have very cool springs, and then it gets hot really fast. And the peas don't really have a chance to grow before it gets really hot, and then they just don't do very well. So I'm going to try this in hopes that I will get a better pea crop. So all of these seeds are hybrid seeds. They are a sugar snap variety, so the kind that you can eat the whole pod. And yep, some of them are dwarf, some of them are regular, and we'll just see how they do. So I'm really looking forward to it. So I'm going to be growing them up my trellises here. I've got an arch trellis that I'll show you a picture of, and this will give them plenty of room to climb. You know, they've got 16 feet of trellis if they really want it. So let's get these peas in the ground. First thing I need to do, I'm going to pull this fabric back. And just fold it. Here's the irrigation line here. And I'm going to plant these within this is 4 feet from here all the way to here. I'm going to plant these within that 4 feet. So I have two different variety of peas here. This is a regular sugar snap. Here you can see they're really grabbing a hold of each other. And these over here are a dwarf variety. So I'm going to plant these 4 inches apart, 3 to 4 inches apart, and I am going to see how many of these I can fit in this area. So you can see they're definitely ready to go in. So I've decided to use my bulb planner to do this. And I'm only going to go in about that deep, which is 2 inches. See, this has a marking on here. I'm only going to go in about 2 inches. Got them all in. Now I'm going to help them along a little bit. I'm going to put some sticks in here, and that will give them something to hold on to until they can reach the bottom of the... And I think I'll put one of these sticks every other plant, and they can share. Every couple plants. Now all that's left is to give them a really good drink of water. So if I need it, I put the drip irrigation so it's right up next to the plants, and they'll get really good water when and if I turn the irrigation on. There we go. As you can see, I planted the rest of these sugar snap peas in this pot. This is like a 25-gallon pot. I just got these at Lowe's, these pots, and they're just starting to put their little tendrils out. I'll have to figure out some kind of trellis for them, but I'll probably do like a teepee style trellis on them. But for now, all they need is a good drink of water. And there we go. So I have 6 more of these pots sitting here. I haven't quite decided what I'm going to put in them. I might put some onions in these. But I always save this one in the end for flowers, because I love having a big thing of flowers, like annual flowers. And all I've done to amend the soil in these pots is I've put some black cow manure, a couple shovelfuls, and then a good handful of a 555 fertilizer. It can be any kind. Don't pay any attention to what it says here. Just look at what it says here. So you want something that's as close to a 555 as you can get. And then I mixed it all up, and then these are ready for planting. So I've got 2 buckets here, this one and this one. I'm going to put onions in these. I'm leaving this one empty because after this week, we're supposed to have really cold nights this week. I'm going to put another round of these little dwarf sugar snap peas in there. But in these 2, I prepped them the same way. I put some black cow fertilizer a 555 fertilizer, and then I also gave them some bone meal. As bone meal is high in phosphorus, it is a 214-0. Second number is the phosphorus, so NPK. The P is for root development, the phosphorus. So we're gonna put some of that in there as well. So these are onion I grew in from seed, and they're like this. I didn't have very good luck with my onions this year. Normally it is impossible to kill onions, but this year I just didn't have very good luck. I don't know if it's because I used all the hybrid seed or what. So I just dumped them out, and you can just pull them out like this. And stick them in. And you can put them in clumps. How many of you watch Charles Dowding? Stick. He buries everything really deep. And he buries his onions in clumps. Like he'll plant like 3 of them together. And there we go. I got the whole thing planted. Now these are a little close together, especially if you want bulbs that are that big. They're a little close together. But as they grow, I'll thin them and eat them as spring onions until they're at least 4 inches apart. I ended up putting some hardwood cloth over the top of these just to give them a chance to start growing. I didn't want something coming in here and digging them up right away. Once they get more established and get their roots established, then I will take the hardwood cloth off. But my guess is they'll take off pretty quickly, and I won't have to worry about them anymore. And then these are the dwarf sugar snap peas. And then over here, are the regular sugar snap peas. So they will have quite a bit of room to grow. As you can see, this trellis is pretty tall. I don't know if you can see that or not. Especially since I raised it up 12 inches off the ground here. On both sides, it gave me another 2 feet. I cannot even, I mean, that's a good foot away from my hand. I cannot even touch it. So these will do really well. I hope. You never know, do you? So this week, if I didn't say it already, I'm going to say it again. We're expecting nights in the low 30s. And both of these vegetables should be able to take those temperatures. I don't believe we're supposed to get a frost, but you can still get a frost even if it's 33, 34 degrees. So you just never know what's going to happen. But I just wanted to get these. I still have some sugar snap peas left, so if they do succumb to the cold, I can just rip these out and put the new ones in, or the old ones, depending on how you want to look at it. So there is a woman who lives in a house. I've got an alley behind my house and then another row of houses, and then there's a main street after that. But she laughs exactly like Bellatrix Lestrange from Harry Potter. It's really kind of hysterical every time I hear it. I'm laughing. I think it's the funniest thing ever. Okay, so that's just gonna about do it for this episode. I hope you enjoyed what you saw here. If you like what you saw here, give me a thumbs up and give me a comment down below and let me know if you are going to be growing either of these, sugar snap peas or onions, and what varieties you're growing. And until next time, happy gardening. Bye-bye.